So the school semester break has begun, which also means that I have time to pursue my game development endeavors. But I've been struggling to get back into the game development sector for the sole reason of trying to juggle web and app development for school and game development as a passion. But looking back at how much I've procrastinated, I don't think burning out is a good reason for not being able to get back into the sector. So, after struggling to begin a new game, I decided to take all of my current skills and lessons learned, adjusted some techniques, and just decided to remake one of my old games, Desolite Tanks. It doesn't seem like much at first, but Desolite Tanks was more than just another game that I've made. It was a symbol, a benchmark, and a milestone that I am capable of making better games than before if I tried hard enough. To let it just sit there and die would be very much a sin on my part. This week I focused on parts of the game that would be interacted with the most. The movement of enemies, pathfinding in particular, the camera, and a bit of the damage system. First up was the camera. I've decided to experiment with a more dynamic camera this time around, so that the opportunity for enemies to sneak past the player undetected will go up. I've opted for a restricted area tracking kind of camera that just follows the player just minimally around the level, never going too far off so you can see the boundaries. Oh, and yes, I did make the tanks smaller so that they all fit the 1x1 grid to make pathfinding a lot easier. I may adjust this in the future somehow because this made the blocks look really big. I'm quite happy with how the camera turned out, and I will keep it until something really pushes me to change it. I've not dealt with this kind of camera before. A lot of my cameras are static, so yeah, this will be something new for me. Next up is the pathfinding of the enemies. Previously, I've actually made a pathfinding unit, but because the code behind it was not well written, the game started slowing down, and the only proof of the pathfinding behavior was found in the drilling tanks that can pathfind straight to the base. So here is some footage of a smarter enemy that was meant to be in the game. I still don't know how he hit that shot. So I've copied some of the code to the new project and made some fine-tuning to the algorithm to only return a path where the nodes are merely the turning points, which made it look a lot cleaner. I'll be keeping an eye out for performance because calculating paths is still a heavy load, and having too many entities on the field that are just consistently requesting paths is going to repeat the same mistake of slowing down the game. So for this week, this is what I have. The obstacle map isn't updating, so when the blocks are destroyed, the tanks still think there's a pathway there. I did a little bit more data tracking this time around, tracking where entities are in the grid, so that I may use it whenever. As for the damage system, I'm still trying to figure out a proper way to do it. In the future, I am planning to have some of the blocks interact differently when certain events happen, like on player fire, on player death, on entity killed. And I want to get a gist of a good structure first before putting too much dependence on it. I'll probably have it working by next week, so do stay tuned for the weekly uploads.